little bit of confession saying that I have not presented to lawyers before, so it's a first time that I am presenting. I'm very excited, but a little nervous as well. So maybe together we will understand what cloud is. I'll try my best to explain you what cloud means. I am an engineer by education, computer engineer by education. My father wanted me to become a lawyer. After my BSc, I applied for LLB in Nagpur Law College. I got selected as well, but again something happened, and then I moved back and did my MCA from Gwalior. So still, I'm not a lawyer by qualification, but yeah, my dad wants me to be a lawyer. So that's a connect that I have with you. My core responsibility in Microsoft is to drive a product called Azure, Microsoft Azure. And in this session, in this presentation, I'll explain you what Azure means and what Azure do and things like that. So before we start, the way I was thinking of building this talk was to make it little interactive, and together we will analyze what this cloud word means and try to define this cloud. So if you don't mind, I mean, we can start with, okay, me understanding what your understanding of cloud computing is. Maybe one of you can just help me see what you think about cloud. Is it like the real cloud, or it's a cloud which is just a jargon that you think, or what you think when this word cloud come to your mind? If you can help me understand that, I think based on that I'll build, I mean, how deep I should go into technology, or should spend some time more on building this cloud that I believe, or my product is part of that. So maybe one of you can just help me explain what your understanding of cloud is. It can be basic understanding, doesn't matter, but that will help me build my talk. So you wanna try? Sir? What's come? Yeah. Correct.
Restricted to me only, so that could be a resource which could be used by whosoever is opting for the services of cloud.
Excellent, excellent. So if you do little bit of search either on Bing or Google, you will find multiple definition of cloud computing. Yesterday night when I was building my presentation, I thought, okay, which definition I should put. It should not be very complicated. It should be easy to explain and things like that. Then I thought, okay, let me build my own definition, which I think it's very simple. So I created this one single line and try to build a definition, which I am saying computing as a service which is built on internet. So I try to simplify this, and when you say cloud computing, in general word, we call it as a cloud. So when you read, I think that the banner that we have is say demystify the cloud, doesn't mean that, okay, we are going to define what the cloud, real cloud is. It means what cloud computing mean to us. So in general, when you hear cloud from ID people, I think you can understand it's a cloud computing, and computing which is supported through internet. Servers are there somewhere, not visible and things like that. That kind of a thing, picture should come in your mind. So it is IT service, okay, which is provided through internet. It's as simple as that. And we call them as a cloud. Why cloud is important? Because cloud has these three important characteristics, I will say, and which is, okay, it's a foundation of cloud. And those three are very simple. When we talk about cloud, one thing which should come in our mind is its unlimited capacity, is elasticity. You want more, you get more. You want less, you can get less. So as and when your requirement is, automatically the cloud will scale for you, and when you don't need it, it will automatically shrink. So that kind of a thing, it should come in your mind. For example, I'll use an example as we go, but one characteristic that it should come in your mind is elasticity. It is on demand, you can scale up, scale down. That is one. Second characteristic that cloud should always have and is there is, okay, its ability to charge you on a metered kind of a model. What it means is, if you use more, we will charge you more. If you use less, we will charge you less. So cloud is about, okay, giving you flexibility of using, okay, what you want, not, okay, giving everything, okay, on your plate. It's not thali. It's not like, okay, even you like or not, okay, they will give you in a thali. It's a a la carte where, okay, if you want one roti, little dal, you will able to take that dal roti and eat and go. So that's a second characteristic of cloud, which is, okay, need basis. The third and very important characteristic of cloud is it's a self-serving one. You don't need experts, okay, to help you provision cloud. In your own, with very simple knowledge, you will able to use cloud. And these are the three important things. But if you see in our daily life, right, there are many cases we are already using cloud. No one in the room, okay, including the person, okay, who is taking my video or taking my pictures or somebody who is helping me, everyone in this room are using cloud in some way. If you are checking weather or internet, anything on your phone, you are using cloud. If you are using a product called Skype or WhatsApp or anything, okay, Facebook, again you are using cloud. If you are taking your pictures and pictures are getting stored automatically in your SkyDrive or maybe in your OneDrive or any other storage, all those is you are storing somewhere, okay, far away in a centralized mode, you are using cloud. So there are many examples. Some of these examples I have put. All of us today in this room are using cloud. And why cloud is becoming so important? Because the kind of data that we are generating today, right? Because of phones, there are too many pictures that we are taking. Everywhere you have cameras, you are capturing that data. You need a place where we can store this today, and then later maybe you can analyze it. Like Twitter is generating lot of data, right? Somebody wants to analyze that Twitter data, you need a place where you can store it and analyze it. So in our regular time, right, many scenarios that we are using cloud, okay, which is the cloud computing that we are using. Just to be precise in this talk, what I have done is I have taken a view of an enterprise, how they will be using cloud, not the end consumer, because end consumer, without knowing, we use cloud on a daily basis. So my talk is based on enterprise, how they will get benefited from cloud, okay. So before I thought, okay, let me build what cloud is and what cloud journey is, I thought let me take a step back and show you the journey that we have so far on in terms of normal IT adoption. And one thing which when I were studying IT, and most of the time we realized there is a pattern, I mean, I can call this analogy, okay, between the way city is growing and our IT is growing. And I'll work together, we'll work together, where I'll show you, okay, what I think by different aspect of city and different aspects of IT going together. So take an example of, okay, city like Mumbai. Maybe long back, Mumbai might be a isolated city, right? And then what has made Mumbai today is roads and rail. I mean, without local, you can't now think about Mumbai, right? Similarly, in IT, when we started, internet has done the same change what local has done for Mumbai. If you don't have internet, we are not able to connect with each other. There will not be any Facebook. There will not be any communication. Even today, when you in banking, if you see the transition which has happened from branch banking to core banking, again, internet and connectivity was the main enabler there. So the point here is both IT as well as cities has grown in isolation, okay, and it took time for them to evolve. And let's see, okay, there are other things also I try to compare it between city and IT. One thing comes in my mind is the way we build buildings and factories and things like that in city. Similarly, in IT, what we do is we build application, which is more of enterprise application. Once you build that enterprise application or you build buildings, what you need is you need transportation to connect those buildings, right? If you have just building and you don't connect with each other, does not make sense. So that's what we did in our IT apps as well. We have apps, then we built on communication so that one app can talk to another app, which was very, very important for us to serve. And then the fourth part was, as and when, okay, IT was getting, was moving, we also came up with this concept of package software. And same analogy you can say even in cities, people used to manufacture things, okay, on their own, but later they realized to scale this makes sense if you have manufacturing unit who can build those goods and then you distribute it. So exactly same thing happened in IT as well. So we came up with this package software maybe some of the beautiful package software, maybe if you've heard, is MS Office is a good example. If you're in banking industry, you might have seen product like Crystal Report that we used to use for reporting. There are other many packages software which has come in IT. And once that is done, the second part that we realize is manufacturing makes sense, but getting something okay from outside, from another city, and then assembling it and creating a product can also make sense. For example, if I have to make maybe a car, maybe I don't have to build everything here, right? I can get certain part, I can assemble as well. And that's where all the beautiful Indian companies comes in picture as well. All our system integrator companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, all these companies were very good in terms of okay, assembling IT for you. It was built by Microsoft, by IBM, all other, but it was assembled by TCS, Infosys, and things like that. So today, even in your bank, if you see, right, you will have these SIs, okay, who are the one who were assembling things for you and helping you. So exactly same thing happened in a city as well, where we start assembling things. We were assembling bicycle, we were assembling many other things, I will say. So exactly same thing happened in IT as well. Once that is done, it was very important for us to understand the processes as well. See, once you understand city part, you say, okay, how I'll distribute those packages, what will be the processes involved there. So that's where, okay, your BPOs comes into the picture. We started outsourcing some of those business processes as well. And on top of that, okay, like the way you were building the entire city infrastructure, we were started thinking how I can manage and build my IT infrastructure. And last, which was you have to govern your city, exactly, you have to govern your IT as well. So there was a good, I will say, relation, or I see a analogy of me seeing, okay, how cities is growing and how IT is growing as well. And I'll tell you how I'll relate this with cloud in my slides, upcoming slides. Let me now go back and see how the ITs used to be on non-cloud world and where IT is moving in a cloud world. So take an example, a very simple diagram that I'm building here. And I'll quickly build this slide. So in a typical IT environment, old enterprise, you will have a PC or a laptop. Maybe that PC or laptop can be the teller counter or maybe in somebody's desk. And then you will have an infrastructure, okay, sitting in somewhere in the bank organization. And then you have two type of application installed in that. One is a package software, maybe product like Outlook or Exchange or something which is packaged, which is not built, okay, for that bank. It was built keeping on others in mind, but bank is also using. And then other products which is, okay, built keeping banks in mind. Maybe, for example, a bank, okay, who is using Finacle as a core banking solution, but they have built Finacle, or Infosys has built, okay, based on your processes and your need. So that kind of a solution that we see. Examples, I already gave you examples, like that package is maybe a CRM, maybe email and things like that. And that's the one, okay, which is your custom application that you have built for that organization. And all those were delivered through a data center which is there with that organization. The change that we are seeing now in the cloud world, now what happened is the client, you have two more additional devices which is serving you as a client. What it means is we are seeing tablets coming in, okay, as well as phone coming in. So the client layer, okay, the change that we see, it's not only PC or laptop, it is also important that we create an interface for tablet and phone as well. So that's one change that we are seeing. Second change that we are seeing is in the package application model, where we are seeing software as a services coming in. And I'll spend some time with you in my further slides on what software as services mean. But that's again second change we are seeing, where customers are not going with the package solution, they are going with a service called SaaS. And we'll spend more time on what SaaS means. And the other change we are seeing is people are not running their own data centers in their organization. They are going with products or platform which is run by somebody else, and they are hosting their servers on those data centers. So data center also, enterprise are outsourcing to vendors, okay, who can do a better job of managing that infrastructure. So that's a change that we are trying to see. And let me double click just on what type of data center that people have. And this is the term that you will hear from all the cloud experts. So it's, if you want to learn cloud, I think these three words, I think definitely you should take back from this talk. One is a private cloud, second is a public cloud, third is a hybrid cloud. Very simple words, public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud. Private cloud, the word itself, okay, you can understand, means it's very private to me, which is okay, it is within my boundaries. Okay, so if I want to relate this with city, means a city which is not connected with anybody. It's a isolated, very protected, okay, protected by a boundary, owned by us, governed by us, which I own, I possess. That's a private cloud. Most of the big companies, maybe 3 years or 4 years back, all big IT houses or one who is helping all the banks are running their infrastructure on a private cloud. Slowly they are moving towards okay other model, but traditionally all traditional banks, their ITs are private cloud. So private cloud is governed within that boundary, it's a very well protected kind of a infrastructure. When we say public cloud means is the shared environment. It doesn't run by that organization, somebody else is running the data center, and they are consuming the services from that cloud or that data center. That's mean public cloud. Means it's open for everyone, anyone can come in, leverage that public cloud, and it's governed by laws and things like that. And we'll spend a quality time in coming slide on what public cloud means. But just to define the public cloud, it's very simple. Anyone and everyone can come and use that particular infrastructure. What is hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud means mix of both. Certain things I'll do on private cloud, which I protect, but certain things, okay, I can do it on cloud. I'll give you one example, like I am running Flipkart, okay. Most of the time I am running Flipkart on my data center. But in Diwali time, I know that my data center will not be sufficient. Maybe at that time I'll use public cloud for some duration for that peak time. That can be one example. Another example that I do is one of our customer is using, they'd use it for, it's a government customer, Karnataka Education Authority. What they do is, most of the time their counseling application, they have a counseling application where students can come and pick okay which college that they want to join. When they have this mass okay people coming in during the exam times or during that counseling session, they run that from public cloud. And most of the times where they have very few people coming in, they run it from their own private cloud. So option here is right, you can have both certain workloads or certain application can run from private cloud, which is your own data center, and certain things can run from cloud. Another example can be, you can say, the one which is very sensitive data or data that I don't want to put it on a common share, I'll keep it in private cloud. But certain areas where I don't need to protect that data, it's more of a okay public data and things like that, I can do it from public cloud. So you have that flexibility of deciding which you want to run it on private cloud and public cloud. And important for you here is Microsoft has solution for all three. So even though when we talk about cloud, right, our cloud doesn't mean that you have to be on public cloud. Our cloud doesn't mean that you have to be in private cloud. Our cloud doesn't have okay that you have to be in a hybrid cloud. What we suggest most of the time is what makes sense for you, for your business, you can pick and choose. So cloud in Microsoft story gives you option. It's a choice that you decide where you want to keep. But very, very important, when you hear about this cloud technology, these three words will pop in all the time. I'll just take a pause here if you have any question on understanding these three words, which is public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Okay. So now what I'll try to do is I'll build more on public cloud side, because private cloud it's very clear things you own and things like that, but I'll spend some time with you to explain what our public cloud story is. So again, this is a very important slide. When we talk about public cloud, there are three words will always come whatever article that you read on cloud. Those words are IaaS, which we call it as infrastructure as services. Second word will come in, which is PaaS, which is platform as service, and the third word will come, which is SaaS, which is software as service. So these three words will come in any public cloud article that you will read. And in simple terms, what it means is, when we say platform as services, means that we will give you, when we say infrastructure as services, means we'll give you infrastructure and rest of it is your responsibility. We will give you machines, what you deploy on that machines, how you govern that machines is all your responsibility. But the public cloud vendor will give you those machines, and it's up to you what you are going to install in that machines, which is the servers that we will give. It's this offering is called as infrastructure as services. Platform as a services means that we will give you infrastructure, and also we will give you platform for you to build application. So we'll give you platform as well as a part of that offering. Third option is software as a services, means we will give you near finished service. Only thing you need to do is you put your data and then you can start using it. So I have another slide to explain these three, and I think this slide will help you build these three definitions. If you see on your left, that is private cloud, everything is done by you, okay? Everything is done by you. Security is your, you have to take care of security, you have to take care of, okay, provisioning, you have to take care of maintaining hardware, infrastructure, everything is done by you. But when you come for infrastructure as services, you will see the vendor will take care of storage, will take care of networking and compute, and will take care of security related to these three. That's what, okay, the cloud vendor will take care. If you get into PaaS, the things that we will take care, not only that, we will take care of virtual machines, we will take care of operating systems running in that virtual machines, we will also take care of runtime which will be running on that machine. So if you see, ownership, okay, will be more with the cloud vendor if you get into PaaS. Okay, your responsibility will be only application layer and data and access layer, okay? But when you move to software as a services, most of the things are taken care by the cloud vendor. Only thing you have to do is you define who will access that service and what data that you want. Like for example, you're using Office 365, is a good example of that. Office 365, you have to just tell, okay, how many employees you have, what their names are, what credentials that they have, and things like that. But rest of the services is provided by Microsoft. And our accountability increase, like we are more accountable to help you, maintain you if you use software as services, and it's moved from left to right. I'll just pause here in case if you have any doubts or questions, but because this is very, very critical to understand at least public cloud, which is IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. Okay, no question means all. Yeah, okay.
That I think it's not. This infrastructure as a service also and software as a service. If we take it as infrastructure as a service, then the subsequent it's software it is made by the user. Then the entire software it is also be housed at the cloud only.
Yeah, so what it means is you have infrastructure on cloud,
yeah.
Then you come and install that your application on that, but
yes.
It is hosted and put it on public
yes.
cloud, which is our responsibility for these three layers. The answer is yes, that will be your responsibility to put the application on that, it will be hosted on cloud.
No, responsibility of taking all other connected things, security and everything with the software, it will comes with the Microsoft.
Yeah, so security related to these three blocks will be Microsoft responsibility. Security related to your application piece will be your responsibility.
Okay.
But if you see in SaaS model, even security related to application is our responsibility. So our responsibility grows up as you get into software as services kind of a model. But your flexibility are more in here. You'll get a little bit more flexibility here. There you don't have flexibility. So flexibility, if you go, your own flexibility will be more in this model. You have extremely good flexibility on this model. So flexibility will also like go down as you go towards that software as services kind of.
That means your responsibility will be going more on the right side.
Correct.
Can you put more light how the flexibility will be less? More on when we do software and service, how the flexibility will be less to the buyer?
Yeah, correct. I have one slide as well in my presentation, but I can answer that